Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. So today I wanted to do another sit down video, and this time I'm actually sitting down. And today I'm actually going to do a video on relationships, and it's really going to be sharing with you just what life was like during the first year of marriage, basically between Aaron and I. And I decided to kind of do something like this because since we started our channel is still relatively new. It's been like a year and a half since we started our channel, so I can only show you things that are happening in the moment. But I do like to rewind and share with you little snippets and other experiences and be a little candid and let you know, because the whole point of these videos is to share with others and not just to, share joy and enjoyment and all that stuff, but it's just to really share experience, because we can truly learn from each other's experience. And sometimes we can also learn to realize that, oh, it's not just us. We're not the only ones who had a rough time or during this time, or we're not the only, you know what I mean? Like, we can take from each other and not, and grow. So taking things back to the first year of marriage, I want to say that in my mind, when Aaron and I got married, we got married at 19 and 20, and this was solely our decision. It wasn't pressured. No one suggested it. He proposed to me randomly on his own, and it was not very expected. And it was, even though we were young, it was easy for me to say yes, because A, I loved him, and B, we were expecting our child, and we knew what we wanted for our child's future. Our decisions to do what we were doing was obviously encouraged. It was encouraged by our parents, because they did support us in getting married and thought that was, the right thing to do given our situation. But outside of that, we made our initial decisions on our own. Like I keep saying, Aaron's not here to ever share his perspective. I feel really bad because he's just so busy. But the time will come when, when I guess things get, if the channel grows over time and whatever happens, then I'm sure there'll be more time for him to sit and do those kind of videos. But for now, it's a little bit hard. He's got to work. Someone's got to pay our bills, and so that's it for now. I want to say my first year of our marriage, I had a lot of expectations that they just, I guess, were unrealistic. In my mind as a woman, I think maybe like every woman, we kind of want our relationships to be perfect. We want them to go exactly the way we want to plan. So let me just give you like an idea of what I'm talking about for my own self. I expected that we were just going to get married and we were going to have our children, or our first child anyways, and, go to school, wrap up our education. We were always going to be truthful to each other and just have a relationship filled with honesty and commitment and all that stuff. And I don't want to say that stuff wasn't there, but it wasn't always that way. It didn't plan out or pan out as in the way that I expected it to. We definitely had moments, because being that we were so young, we had issues with that commitment that, okay, now this is your family and you have to be committed. And for me, it was easier because I was the one, after getting married, we had our child like shortly after getting married. So for my role was rather easy because I was the mom that stayed at home but for Aaron it was tougher because he was going to school, and then he had his friends. I guess for me, I kind of, I don't want to say I cut off my friends, but in a sense I kind of did, just because it was a different dynamic now that it was the three of us. And for him, he was still engaged with his friends because he was going off to university, or going off to work. So he had more of a social aspect than I did, or social life than I did. And so that sometimes kind of threw a wedge in our relationships, because, expectation wise, it's just like, oh, you as a woman, you kind of expect, oh, he's going to take care of me, or he's going to be there for our family, or he's going to this. And it's not to say that he wasn't, but I'm saying there's a lot of growing pains that occurred during the first year of our relationship, because you just kind of go from, these are my friends, these are the things we like to do, we want to go out to here, we want to go to there, to just suddenly, oh, I have a family, I have a wife. Now I've got to think maturely. Like, I got to think future plans. I got to set myself up in the right position. I've got to think, how am I going to take care of my family? And so the dynamic just suddenly shifted, and it did help. It made the first year really, really tough, because there were expectations and they weren't always met. And it's not just one-sided, but at the same time, it was you know, it's hard. It was just really, really hard. And I had these expectations. I wanted things to be perfect all the time, and they didn't. And then you come looking at relationships today. Looking at relationships today, you can kind of see where that expectation is still there, because a lot of people have these expectations of things and how they want them to go. And then when they don't go that way, a lot of people just kind of discard their relationships and just throw them away, or just shut them down and just move on. No one wants to put in the time that's required. No one wants the quick fix, and you know, just kind of don't want there to be anything. And that's the reality is, based on our experience of, you know, things were not easy. And that's one dynamic that I'm talking about, just the growing pains of even, say, friendships, of leaving friends behind. So, friendship obviously was one thing that impacted us. Another thing that affected us was our commitment towards each other. So, and it went hand in hand with friendships and just lifestyle in general. We were committed to each other, but it's, you know, commitment isn't just, oh, we tied the knot by putting the ring on each other's fingers. It was, you know, just our dedication to each other, our commitment and dedication towards working on our relationship and working on each problem. Trust me, being that we were so young, we had problems just because we just kind of came out of our own. We were just high schoolers not that long before, where we could kind of do our own thing and had our, you know, whatever, had our friends and did whatever. And now we have to just kind of come together, and we have to work on us before anything else. God before us, but us before anything else, meaning our relationship before friends, our relationship before idling or before any other commitment, your you know, activities and all those things. Just because without us, then without that, there is no us. Because if there's no commitment towards each other and there's no working on stuff, it doesn't work. Relationships fall apart because though the couple may be together and they love each other, at the end of the day, if they're not committed to each other and trying to make things work, it's not going to go very far. If they're not committed towards fixing the problems when they're bad, then they're just going to be bad, and things are going to get bad, they're going to get out of hand, and they're not going to be repaired. And when they're not repaired, it just leaves room for a lot of hurt or a lot of just damage that is irreparable over a period of time. And so, despite the fact that I knew we needed that, there were times when it wasn't there. And when, trust me, when it wasn't there, it was a drain. It felt like our relationship was being drained on both ends. On both ends. Like, this video is not me coming on here talking about, oh, you know, what he did affected me and what, like, this is about it's just candid. It's a video letting you know how it works on both sides, and it affects whatever we do and whatever we're not doing, it affects each side. And so in our relationship, I can give examples like when things were bad and when we had our rough times and disagreements and we weren't talking about them. The old me would have kind of kept quiet about things. I would have just kind of had an attitude. I would have sulked a little bit. And Aaron may have even asked me, like, Sarah, what's wrong? And I would be like, oh, nothing. Obviously, he can tell, evidently there's something wrong, but I didn't want to talk to him because I felt like, oh, well, maybe I'm not going to talk to you because I know we've gone down this road before. I know that this isn't probably going to change, so I don't want to even open my mouth. But that wasn't very conducive to us. It wasn't conducive to our relationship. If anything, it was just being, I was damaging the both of us. I was damaging our relationship because I wasn't helping it. We could go on and on about this topic, but I'm going to just let you know commitment is a strong one in the first year of marriage. And like I said, it's not just about putting the ring on your finger now and going, oh, that's my wife or that's my husband. It's really about just what you do when things get rough, or what you do, the maintenance that you do in your relationship, your commitment towards always working on things, always repairing things. And we were very lucky to have good examples in our lives, because we see our parents actively getting through their marriage and working on their marriage, whether it's through maintenance or whatever, all the time. And that sets a great example for us, because you know that it's not something that you just give up on just like that. And that's one of the things that definitely was a strain. Now, there are, while doing this video, it kind of just popped in my head that, wait a second, I guess I kind of have like 3 different segments, not segments, but I feel like I have main points that I'm trying to share, and it's gonna make the videos a little bit longer, so I probably will end here. Looking in my book beside me, I realize I have 3 other main I can count 3 other main points that I wanted to share about surviving the first year of marriage, or just how we survive the first year of marriage, and just the struggles that we've dealt with. I think I will probably end the video here. And if y'all want to hear, I'm sorry that it's kind of abrupt, but let me know if you find if you find this interesting, and if you want to hear more. I'm like right there and ready and waiting to make the continuing portion of this video, because yeah.
Hi guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to join the tribe. Subscribe.